Be honest. How many times today did you replay something someone said, just to convince yourself they were secretly attacking you? That message you read 3 times. That scene with no reply. That joke in the group chat that felt a little too close to home. If your mind instantly turns neutral moments into personal attacks, this video is for you. Because while you're busy overthinking every look, every tone, every silence, there are people walking through the same world, hearing the same words, and feeling completely unbothered. The difference is not that they're colder. It's that they understand something you don't, yet. Today, you're going to learn why you take everything personally, and how Stoics train themselves not to. Before we dive in, if you want to build a calmer mind, stronger emotions, and a Stoic backbone that doesn't crumble when people talk, hit subscribe right now. This channel is all about turning ancient Stoic wisdom into real psychological tools you can use every day, and if that's the kind of person you're trying to become, you'll want to stay. Alright, let's get into it. First, we need to expose a hard truth. You don't take things personally because people are especially mean. You take things personally because your mind is always asking one question. What does this say about me? Someone is quiet. You think, they're annoyed with me. Someone is late. You think, they don't respect me. Someone doesn't invite you. You think, they don't like me. Notice the pattern. Almost every event is run through the filter of me. That's not because you're selfish. It's because your brain is wired to protect your identity. Your sense of self is like a fragile glass sculpture. Every comment, every tone, every delay feels like someone swinging a hammer near it. So you flinch. You defend. You create stories. But here's the paradox. The more you try to protect your identity by taking everything personally, the weaker it becomes. You turn into someone who is constantly scanning for threats, constantly hurt, constantly offended. Now, contrast this with the Stoic way. Stoics lived in a world full of insults, power games, and chaos. Emperors were criticized. Slaves were humiliated. Life was harsh. Yet they trained themselves to be very hard to offend. How? Not by becoming emotionless, but by changing the question. Instead of, what does this say about me? They asked, what's actually in my control here? That simple shift is the foundation of Stoic resilience. Let's break down 3 Stoic shifts that can help you stop taking everything personally. Shift 1. You are not the center of every story. When someone doesn't reply, you build a whole movie in your head. They're ignoring me. I said something wrong. I'm not important. But here's what the Stoics understood. People are driven mainly by their own inner world, not by you. They're tired. They're stressed. They're insecure. They're busy. They're distracted. They're stuck in their own loops of fear and desire, just like you. In other words, you're not the main character in their mind. One Stoic exercise is to assume neutral or non-personal explanations first. Instead of "they're disrespecting me," try, "they might be going through something I know nothing about. They might not have the skill to communicate clearly. This might have nothing to do with me at all." This is not denial, it's realism. Most of the time, people's behavior reflects their state, not your worth. You stop taking things so personally when you stop assuming you're the target of everything. Shift 2. Opinions are just opinions. Imagine someone says, "You're selfish." Instantly, your heart drops. You feel attacked. You either shut down or start defending yourself. Now watch how a Stoic would break this down. First question. Is this statement objectively true, or is it just their opinion? If it's true, if there's a real pattern, you've just received free feedback. Painful, yes, but useful. You can learn from it. If it's not true, if it doesn't match your values or actions, then it's just sound waves. Someone else's judgment. Their perception. Their story. Why give that story the power to define you? A Stoic separates times what I can control, my actions, my intentions, my response. Times what I cannot control, their mood, their biases, their projections. The moment you treat every opinion as a verdict on your soul, you suffer. The moment you see opinions as data, sometimes helpful, sometimes garbage, you gain freedom. So next time someone criticizes you, ask, is there something true here that I can use to grow? If yes, thank them in your mind, even if poorly delivered. If no, let it fall away. You don't have to pick up every stone thrown at you. Shift 3. You can choose your story. Here's where psychology and stoicism meet. Events don't hurt you as much as the meaning you attach to them. You text someone, and they don't reply. The event is neutral. The story is not. Story A, they don't care about me. Story B, they might be busy. Story C, either way, I'll be fine. The event is the same. Your emotional reaction changes with the story you choose. Stoics trained this every day. They constantly questioned their first reaction. Is this the only way to see this? Am I adding extra drama that isn't actually there? Is this a problem of reality, or a problem of my interpretation? You feel attacked not just because of what happened, but because you choose a story that places you at the center of the attack. So here's a powerful practice. 1. When you feel hurt, pause and name the event in the simplest terms. Not, they disrespected me. But, they spoke loudly and walked away. 2. Then, write down the story your mind is telling. They think I'm stupid. They don't value me. 3. Finally, ask, what are 3 other possible explanations that don't attack my worth? This doesn't magically fix everything. But it gives you something invaluable: space. Space between what happens and what you feel. Space where choice lives. And in that space, you can practice being more stoic. You might be wondering, but what if they are trying to hurt me? What if it really is personal? Good question. Even then, the stoic response is the same. You don't control their behavior. You only control your response and your standards. If someone truly disrespects you, you have options. Times you can calmly state your boundary. Times you can distance yourself. Times you can decide this person doesn't get access to you. What you don't have to do is carry their words around all day, replaying them on loop, stabbing yourself with them long after they're gone. Stoics believed that most of our suffering is self-inflicted, not because we deserve it, but because we don't know how to stop participating in it. You get hurt once by the event, then 100 times by your replay. So how do you start becoming less sensitive, less easily wounded, less likely to take every little thing to heart? 1. Morning reminder. When you wake up, tell yourself, today, people will be distracted, rude, careless, busy. I don't control them. I only control who I choose to be. 2. During the day. When something stings, silently ask, is this really about me, or could this be about them? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't answer too fast. Give your mind a chance to calm down. 8. Evening reflection. At night, think of one moment where you took something personally. Ask, how else could I have seen that situation? What would a Stoic have focused on instead? You won't transform overnight. But slowly, you'll notice a shift. You'll stop flinching at every comment. You'll stop replaying conversations for hours. You'll stop letting other people's moods dictate your self-worth. Instead of being a fragile glass sculpture that needs everyone to handle it perfectly, you become something else, steady, clear, and grounded. Not numb. Not cold. just not controlled by every random opinion or careless action. That's what Stoics were aiming at. And it's what you can build too. If you're ready to keep training this mindset, if you're tired of feeling like a puppet pulled by every word, every silence, every look, make sure you're subscribed. We're going to keep breaking down these Stoic tools until staying calm, confident, and unbothered becomes your default, not your exception.